Hey guys, welcome to the 2024 World Cup of Ketchup, where we compare ketchups from all over the world. We did this last year and it was a lot of fun, so I thought we'd do it again this year. If you're interested in watching last year's competition, I'll leave a link to it in the description of this video. Now let's take a look at the ketchups we have for this year. Like I said, each ketchup is from a different country. Now it's kind of hard to determine the country of origin sometimes, because like let's say one ketchup is made in, or the company is a UK company, but it's manufactured in France. Is it a French ketchup or a UK ketchup? So I don't know, it's a little bit tricky sometimes, but I did my best to get the correct or the appropriate country of origin. Now here we go. The first ketchup I have here is this one here. So this ketchup is from Poland, and the company is called, I'm sure I'm pronouncing this wrong, Winieri, whatever, something like that. And you can see it says ketchup Pikantny. That makes me think it's a spicy ketchup, especially because just the way the word sounds, and especially because you see some kind of like spice there. So we'll see. I'm curious to try this one out. Nice looking bottle here, plastic squeeze bottle. Next up is this ketchup here, Vital tomato ketchup. Now I had trouble determining at first where this was from. I looked up the website that they have listed on the back in like super small writing, and I thought, well, the website didn't work, right? So I'm like, okay, that doesn't help. So then I looked up some of these words, like this word here, which I think means bland, maybe. I don't know, I can't remember. But I was seeing different languages with the same word that meant pretty much the same thing, so that didn't help. But then I realized, the website ends with a .rs, which is the Serbian ketchup country code. So this is Serbian ketchup, long story short. The bottle is kind of weird though. Looks kind of weird, like just the color. I don't know, gives me bad vibes. It reminds me of like paint or something. And I had a bottle in the first World Cup of ketchup with kind of a similar issue, but what are you gonna do? Okay, we'll put that there. Okay, next up is this ketchup here. This is from Canada, and it says it is good food for good. And you see it says ketchup, organic, and it says sweetened only with dates. I know you sweeten ketchup by going on a bunch of dates, but I'm joking. But yeah, interesting thing about this, I believe a portion goes to charity of every bottle sold. That's why it's called good for good. Something like that, bro. I don't know. So it's a nice glass bottle. I like glass bottles, but for ketchup, it's so hard to get the ketchup out sometimes, but it looks nice, so I'll give it that. Put that one down. Alright, next up is Foodie, I don't know, representing the United States of America, and it says no added sugar, unsweetened ketchup, sensible. Sensitive or sensible or both, I don't know, bro. Okay, so there you go. Another glass bottle. And then we have this ketchup. It's another ketchup from Poland. So there's two representatives from Poland this year. The brand is called Kotland, I don't know. Premium ketchup. Lagodny, you know what that means. 100% natural, I guess. Yeah, so this looks like a pretty cool bottle. Interested in trying this one, as well as all of them, of course. And then finally, we have this ketchup from Italy. Oh, it's upside down, sorry. Calve, I don't know, ketchup. And this was from the European Cup 2024. So hopefully it's not expired by now, but it should be okay. It's just ketchup, lasts forever. Alright, those are your contestants for this year's Ketchup World Cup. Now, before we move on, let's take you to our correspondent, Chip, who's having a word with one of our spectators. Chip.
Retro, I'm here with local whippersnapper Billy Thompson, who tells me he's a big fan of ketchup and sauces of all kinds. Billy, you've seen the qualifying contestants. In your opinion, who has the best chance of winning the competition?
I like ketchup.
Back to you, Retro.
Thank you, Chip, for that. Anyway, I'm gonna set up the ketchups now so we can do some comparisons in terms of appearance. We'll do a sniff test, a lick test, and a taste test. Alright, we have the ketchups set up here in order that I presented them to you. So it's the Polish, Serbian, Canadian, USA, Poland, and Italy. So we'll start off with an appearance comparison. Just gonna take a quick look here. So this one looks like a typical ketchup in terms of texture and color. A little bit watery looking maybe. This one here, the Serbian one, is a little darker, maybe a little bit thicker. Then we have this is the Canadian one, definitely a much different looking texture. Looks more grainy perhaps, and definitely thicker, and the color has almost a orangey, yellowy tinge to it. Then we have the USA ketchup. That's this one here. Definitely looks thicker, looks more like tomato sauce, but we'll see. We'll have to give it a try. The other Polish ketchup, this one here, looks a lot darker. This is probably the darkest one of them all. And then the Italian ketchup looks very, it also looks like a standard ketchup, but thicker perhaps and a little darker than the Polish ketchup here. Okay, let's do a sniff test here. So we'll start off one by one. This is the Polish ketchup. Smells very good actually. Very tomatoey, perhaps more tomatoey than a typical, let's say, Heinz ketchup, but very good. Can't wait to try that one. And now here's the Serbian. Yeah, less tomatoey, a little bit more spicy, not like hot spicy, but some kind of spice. Okay, this is the Canadian ketchup. A very different smell, more vinegary, less of the sweet tomato type of smell than the USA ketchup. The smell is more faint, but it smells more like a typical standard ketchup. And then the other Polish ketchup we have here. Yeah, once again, less tomatoey, kind of a faint smell, similar to this one almost. And then finally is the Italian ketchup. Not too bad. Again, very tomatoey smelling, traditional ketchup smelling. So let me reposition these just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Gotta be all lined up, you know what I mean? Okay, now we're gonna do a little lick test. I'm gonna dab my finger in each one and have a little taste, a little lick, you know? Not a taste, but a lick. It's different than a taste. So we start off with the Polish. Not bad. Yeah, like I said, very tomatoey, but not quite like how I always compare it to Heinz, because I think that's the ketchup most people are probably familiar with, at least in North America. So, okay, now we try the Serbian. Yeah, more vinegary, a little bit more spicy, some kind of spice like I mentioned before, not sure what it is. This is the Canadian. Oh wow, not what I was expecting. That does not taste like ketchup. I don't really have too much more to say about it than that. It tastes very different. Okay, we'll try this one, the USA ketchup. That's a unique say for now, the real test will be eating French fries with the ketchup. So we'll do that right now. Okay, we have the French fries set up and our ketchups on the side. So once again, that's Poland, Serbia, Canada, USA, Poland, Italy. Okay, I'm also going to try to remember to have a piece of ginger in between each tasting, just to cleanse my mouth. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Might make a nice crunching sound. So here we go. We'll start off with a nice fry here. We're gonna start with the Polish. Dip, 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 dip. There you go. Not bad. Like I said before, it has a nice tomato taste. Tastes like ketchup. Again, not quite like Heinz. I don't know exactly what's missing or why it's different, but there's definitely a difference. Oh, I almost forgot. I have to take my strip of ginger. By the way, I might call it wasabi by accident. If I do, it's obviously a mistake. Whoa, that's good ginger. Okay, here we go. Time for the Serbian. Dip, 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 dip. It is. Not bad. Not bad. It's a little bit more of a bland taste than this one, like less tomatoey. That could be because I just had a piece of ginger, but it's interesting. Interesting. Alright, some more ginger. Okay, now we're gonna try the Canadian ketchup. Here we go. Dip, 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 dip. Yeah, that does not taste like ketchup. It might be good on like something else, like steak or like chicken or something. I don't know, but for stuff like fries or hot dogs, I don't. And maybe hot dogs it'll taste okay too. But in terms of with French fries, it's not the kind of ketchup taste I want with my French fries. So that's kind of disappointing. But another ginger time. Alright, time for USA ketchup. Dip, 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 dip. Somewhat similar to the Canadian one, but much more bland in comparison. So that's kind of disappointing as well. Okay, let's grab another ginger. Alright, now for the Poland, second Poland. Dip, 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 dip. Somehow kind of similar to this one, but not as flavorful. That's what I would say about that one. Grab a small piece of ginger. Okay, and finally the Italian ketchup. Got bigger fry than that. Let's see. Here we go. Dip, dip, dip. Not bad. Tastes kind of similar to Heinz, but kind of bland. So that might be because of the ginger. But let's do another round, but without the ginger, and we'll have like 2 or 3 fries per ketchup. Also, I should do it in a different order, maybe. Yeah, let's start from this side, I guess. The bottom here. So this would be the Canadian. Dip, 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 dip. Let's give it one more try. Dip, 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 dip. therefore I stand by that. It's not a great tasting ketchup, at least for as far as fries are concerned. Okay, we'll try this one, which is the Serbian. Dip, 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 dip. Not bad. Better than the Canadian one, but not the greatest. Let's try a little bit more. Yeah, like I said, it has that spice taste in it. Not very sweet. Used to ketchups to be more sweet than this, which is not a bad thing necessarily, but okay, now we'll try this Poland ketchup here. Oh wow, that's very sweet. In comparison, like one after another, it kind of hits you hard, but definitely not bad. Oh, I got a lot of kick of spice at the last second there. That was weird, like a hot spice. Okay, let's try this one, which is the American USA French fries ketchup. Dip, 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 dip. Yeah, again, a very weird taste, almost like a tomato sauce. I mean, it makes sense because I think this is the one without added sugar, if I'm not mistaken. But it's not great. Okay, here we go. Let's give it one more try here. Yeah, not something I would want to put on my french fries. Okay, next up is the other Polish ketchup. Dip, 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 dip. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. Not bad. Dip, 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 dip. Okay, okay. And then finally, the Italian ketchup here. Dip, dip, dip. Okay. Try that again. Not bad, not bad. A little bland, but we'll see, we'll see. Okay, now I'm gonna do some direct comparisons. The ultimate goal is to rank them from best to worst. So I think in the last two places would be either the Canadian or the USA. So let's compare those directly. We'll start off with the USA ketchup. Dip, dip. It's almost like a very sour taste. Let's try the Canadian. Dip, dip. Okay, I think I've reached a verdict, at least on that. I'm gonna put USA, I'm gonna take it away and put it in 6th place. And the Canadian, I'm gonna put in 5th. The Canadian at least has, neither of them are great on french fries. But the Canadian one has something, has a little bit of flavor at least. It's not the greatest flavor, but there's more flavor. Probably because the American one has no sugar. But it is what it is. Okay, the next two I want to compare are the this Polish one and the Serbian one. So let's try that. So we'll start with this one here. Dip, dip, dip. very comparable. Let's try that one more time. This time, this one first. Dip, dip, dip. Alright, now the Serbian dip, dip, dip. Okay, in fourth place, I would pick the Serbian one. And in third place, I would pick the Polish one. The Serbian one, again, has a certain spice, which is a little bit much. Again, it's not a hot spice, it's just I don't know, an unusual, not unusual, but for ketchup, I don't know, it's a little bit too much. Alright, it comes down to the final two. The Polish, or the other Poland ketchup, and the Italian ketchup. So, let's start with the Polish. Dip, dip, dip. Okay, very good, very good. Now the Italian, dip, dip, dip. Also very good. Okay. Let's try the Italian again. Dip, dip, dip. Okay, and the Polish again. Dip, dip, dip. Oh, I lost one in there. It's okay. It's a very hard decision. This one is very flavorful, and it has that kick, not like a spicy kick, but like kind of knocks you over the head. This one is a little bit more, I don't want to say bland, but a little more mild, I guess would be a better way of putting it. It really comes down to personal opinion, obviously. But when I have my French fries, I like to have, a pretty strong ketchup taste. So I'm gonna have to say, in second place is the Italian ketchup, and in the first place is the Polish ketchup called Winier, or whatever it's called. So congratulations to Poland for an impressive victory. So once more, the rankings are as follows. USA in 6th place, Canadian 5th, Serbian in 4th. We have the Polish in 3rd, the Italian in 2nd, and the other Polish in 1st. So this is the World Cup of Ketchup winner 2025, and I'll have one final victory lap with the winner and finish off the rest of the fries. Pretty good, pretty good. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.